Now this is the second video dealing with the next extract of Graziano's speech. This was assignment 2. Alright, so the extract was, "Come good Lorenzo, fare ye well a while, I'll end my exhortation after dinner." First question is, what does Graziano observe about Antonio when he meets him? What is Antonio's reply? Now, the answer that you should have written is something like this. When Graziano meets Antonio, he tells him that he does not look well. He has anxious thoughts concerning worldly affairs. He tells him that those who spend too much time worrying about worldly matters are never happy. He tells him that he has changed so much. Antonio says that he thinks of the world for what it is, and his part is that of a sad one. He considers the world a stage, and Antonio is here to play the part of a sad person. That is his reply. Next question. How would Graziano play the fool? Why does a man creep into jaundice? Antonio would play the fool with joy and laughter and let wrinkles come. He would heat his liver with wine, then cool his heart with groanings. Second part of the question. A man creeps into jaundice by being jealous or bad-tempered, or works himself to a jaundiced state by being irritable. Next. What kind of expression do some people have, and what has he compared it to? What would happen if they would open their mouth to speak? Alright. Graziano says that some people have an unchanging expression, like that of a surface of a pool of standing water or as cream on top of milk, and they deliberately put on an air of solemnity with the intention to create a reputation of solemnity and deep thought. Now the last part is, what would happen if they open their mouth? If they open their mouth to speak, they would utter such rubbish that the listeners would call them fools, and they would be damned for saying so. Alright? Next question. What advice does Graziano give Antonio at the end of his speech? Graziano tells Antonio not to use the bait of melancholy silence in order to catch a cheap fish like popularity. He also goes on to say that Antonio should behave like a young man does, or to be smiling and to be talking rather than being quiet and solemn all the time. Alright, so this is the second extract. Now moving on to the third extract. The third extract, "Oh, bring your latter hazard bag again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first." Okay. Question 1. What confession has Bassanio made in his previous speech regarding his lifestyle? Bassanio tells Antonio that it is not unknown to him the manner in which he has squandered or wasted his means by living a life in a grand style more than his modest means could afford, nor does he complain of giving up this style of living, which he had started as a young man, and he continues to do so. Alright. Now, question B. What does he owe Antonio, and what assurance does he have now? Bassanio owes Antonio money and love because he has borrowed most of the money from Antonio. It is Antonio's love that gives him an assurance to unfold all his plans, which would help him to get clear of the loans he owes Antonio. Alright. Now, number C. What childhood proof does he give Antonio, and why? Bassanio tells Antonio that in his childhood days, when he shot an arrow and lost it, he would shoot another arrow of the same dimension and watch it carefully. This would help him to find both the arrows successfully. The second part of the answer, he gives this example in order to obtain a second loan from Antonio so that he could go ahead with his plan, and this would enable him to recover the losses that he has had before. Next question, why would he rest debtor for the first? Bassanio tells Antonio that he undoubtedly will use the second loan wisely and try to return the earlier loan as well as the second loan. And if he is unable to return the first loan, he will continue to remain a debtor for the first. Okay, now the last extract. I have a mind presage me such thrift that I should question less be fortunate. Question 1. How has Bassanio described Portia at the beginning of the speech? Bassanio tells Antonio that Portia is a rich heiress of Belmont. She has inherited great wealth from her father. He says that she is fair and virtuous, and both these qualities together makes her even more beautiful. Second, who has he compared her to while stating her value? He says, that's Bassanio. Bassanio says that Portia is in no way inferior or undervalued than the Portia in Julius Caesar, who was the daughter and the wife of Brutus, a great general, who was also the leader of the conspiracy against Julius Caesar. So, in other words, he's trying to say that Portia is a very superior lady with great qualities. Next, what is Bassanio's desire? How do we know that she is well known all over the world? Bassanio says that Portia is well known all over the world, as many suitors from the four corners of the world have been coming to Belmont to try their fortune and be a successful suitor and thereby end up as her husband. Now explain the reference of the golden fleece. For this, boys, you have to write out the complete classical reference of the golden fleece given on page 29, line number 174. So that big explanation given to you is what you have to copy. Alright, about Jason, the Argonauts, the golden fleece tied around the oak guarded by the dragon, and the Colchis strand. Okay. What is Bassanio's desire when he talks about Portia? Question number 4. Bassanio desires to hold a rival place with the suitors only if he had the means to do so. Now, what is his insight about it? He is quite sure that he will have profitable success without doubt if he goes as a suitor to Belmont and tries his fortune. Insight means his mind, his heart, his sixth sense tells him that if he gets the means to go to Belmont, he will surely be a successful suitor because he truly loves Portia. Now, why is Antonio unable to help Bassanio now, and what has he asked him to do? Antonio is unable to help Bassanio as his fortunes are at sea. He has no ready cash or goods to act as a security for a loan. He tells Bassanio to go to any money lender in Venice and borrow money by giving Antonio's name as a security. Antonio too has no doubts that he can borrow money either because of his business credit or account of his personal surety. And with this we come to the end of all the answers that I have given you. Now boys, you should have written the answers in your rough register. If you have not written the answers, please write them now and follow what I have discussed in these two videos. Alright, so now I will be starting with the next topic in language, that is transformation of sentences, from Monday onward. Thank you and have a good day.